And now, cutting through your typical media nonsense and offering you a rational and unbiased perspective on current events and life in Tampa Bay. He's a successful entrepreneur, published author, top listing agent, a real estate and finance expert that goes to bat for you every day as a consumer advocate. Your host and the consumer quarterback, Brandon Rhymes.
And yes, here we are again another day helping you win in any marketplace. That's what we do. We want to be that consumer advocate for you here in Tampa Bay. Help you understand your buying decisions, make you more street smart here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. Almost 10 years on air now. Really excited about that. A lot of growth around the team and the company. Added some really good agents recently, and the radio TV show is growing as well. So greatly appreciate all that support the show. Thank you so much for calling in, listing your properties with the team, supporting our different partners, 50-plus show partners, 80 categories of consumer advocate content. 813-917-1894. Call or text the hotline, 813-917-1894.
You used to call me on my cell phone.
And consumerqb.com. And we got a great lineup for you today. Got Will Hyder going to be in the studio, massive marketing pros. Talk about marketing and Clients for Life program. Thomas Younk, Cons Helping Cons, one of our nonprofit organizations, some aspects of the criminal justice system from Thomas Younk. And we got Dan Menikheim as well, SEC Inspections here on the Consumer Quarterback Show, helping you win no matter what you're facing out there. We want to be that consumer advocate local here in Tampa Bay, support the local economy. We've got a hot listing, 530 Heaton Forest Road, $9 million listing from the Bill DeVore Real Estate Group up with Keller Williams Realty, one of our counterparts up in North Carolina. He's also part of the sports and entertainment division of Keller Williams Realty, as am I. 8,000 square foot home, 20-acre property, magnificent country estate in the mountains of western North Carolina. Beautiful property. Looking for our VIP, our executives looking for maybe that second home, or maybe going to relocate to North Carolina. Check out 530 Heaton Forest Road, Cashiers, North Carolina. 4 fireplaces for those cool mountain evenings. Got plenty of parking, expansive stone driveway, guest house that has 3 bedrooms, and a sitting room. One of our hot real estate listings from the Platinum MVP team at Keller Williams Realty in conjunction with co-listing with Bill DeVore Real Estate Group. He's the listing agent on that. 2803 Safe Harbor Drive in Tampa. It's another $1 million listing from the Platinum MVP team. This one is in the Carrollwood area, just reduced down to $975. Great opportunity, 5,000 plus square foot home. Gorgeous property, corner lot, pool home, heated spa, granite countertop, spiral staircase with an elevator. 2803 Safe Harbor Drive in Tampa. It's the Estates at White Trout Lake. Beautiful property. You can see all of our listings at PlatinumMVPteam.kw.com.
This is God's country.
All right, Dan Menikheim, welcome to the program, sir.
Good to be here. How you doing?
Sir. Excellent, blessed and highly favored, and we got SEC Inspections here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. And Dan, you know, we talk a lot about real estate on this program. The real estate market has shifted. There's a shift in place. Of course, the Federal Reserve raising rates has reduced the buyer pool, but it's still a great market here in Tampa Bay. It's still a seller's market. Maybe not quite as an exuberant seller's market that we had about 6 months ago, but 4-point inspections, that's a key part of the process.
Yeah, 4-point inspections, definitely a key part of the process. And so when you buy a home, you get a home inspection. We tell you what's wrong from the roof to the foundation, everything in between. 4-point inspections is a little bit different of an inspection. It's the 4 points includes roof, plumbing, heating, air conditioning, and electric. It's just a basic aspects of the home. If you see any, you know, it's a less detailed. It's specifically for the insurance company. So, that's something we include in the inspection services, and we also do that standalone as well. And what we've been seeing is a lot of the insurance companies are pulling out of the state of Florida. So when somebody's buying a home, we've certainly seen that settle down a little bit. But now a lot of the people that have insurance need to change insurance companies, and they need a 4-point inspection. So a lot of customers from the past have been coming to for us to do that again for them.
Yeah, 185,000 policies we just learned about yesterday at a show with Doug Levi from Strategic Insurance. He mentioned that another one bites the dust. That's kind of been the mantra around the insurance companies in Florida. And a lot of it, from my understanding, it was stemming from the fraud that was involved with a lot of the roofing companies going around to homeowners, say, hey, let's get you a new roof. There was a storm that came through here. All we got to do is file this paperwork. And then instead of fighting it, the insurance companies would, instead of litigating, they would pay the claims. And then sometimes they would fight. There was excessive attorney's fees. So that's what happened with the insurance. Just a brief synopsis there. What happened primarily with the insurance industry in Florida. And, of course, a lot of claims, on top of that as well with different storms and things of that nature. But the roof is such a big part of that process.
And we recently, a guy around their family, this couple around the corner from us, they sold their house recently. We knew them a little bit, acquaintances with them, we know they sold their house, and now we turn around the corner and they sold it about 6 months ago, and now they're installing a new roof on it. And I'm wondering, wow, is the insurance company suggesting they put a roof on or whatever? One thing, being a consumer advocate, from the street, I'm not inspecting it, but I do look at my neighbor's roof. And sometimes I drive through neighbors or my own neighborhood and go, how do they have insurance, right? The roof looks like it's definitely need a replacement. This roof is not the case. So, I mean, what can I bring to the show about the 4-point inspection is the roof covering. Make sure you get the right inspector out there to make sure that, we're going to do the best we can to look at the roof and evaluate it properly, not just tell you need a new roof. A multi-layered shingle is a type of roof system out there. The roof shingles usually have a 30-year life expectancy. Now, here in Florida, do they last 30 years? Of course not. They seem a life expectancy on that type of shingle is usually between around 17 to 25. It can last a little longer, and sometimes they wear a little quicker. But that roof, that roof is not the roof that I've seen replaced is not an original roof on the home that was built in the 90s. So I'm assuming that roof is probably around 15 years old, and they're replacing it already.
Wow.
I don't know. So I don't. That's all I know. It looks like someone's replacing a roof that doesn't need to be replaced. So I think the insurance companies are getting a little bit over crazy with the type of roofs they'll accept for their policyholders. So
yeah, they're getting a little picky too. I had a deal this recently too. It had TPO, like a membrane type of roof, and it was weird because you normally see those. I believe you see those normally, Dan, on like flat roofs. Those the white roofs with the membration.
Yeah, it's on a flat roof or commercial roof systems.
Yeah, and this one was on an actual. It was a roof that actually has some. Vertical to it, it's not just a flat roof. It's looked like it could use like a shingle, but for some reason the previous owner put on a membrane.
Yeah, that's a little weird because they're not the prettiest, right?
Right. Yeah, they're bright white, and people.
Yeah, and being bright white, it's a great reflective property to them. They're a decent roof system, but they get dirty, right? So it looks like a dirty sheet on top of your roof or something. Yeah. But So what happened with that one?
Well, we're still working through it, but I think the deal's going to close. We should be getting that one done. But yeah, it's just interesting. You have all these different choices, and then I know one of our neighbors got a really big home. It's like a 15,000 square foot home, 2 doors down, I believe. But they have tile roof, and I think due to the supply chain, the economics, and the Biden economy, they can't find the replacements for these tiles.
Oh yeah, tile roofs. Ouch! I wouldn't want to pay that bill on a 15,000 square footer.
Yeah, big roof. So if you just joined us, we're talking with Dan Menikheim here. He's one of our expert contributors for home inspections, SEC Inspection Services right here locally in Tampa Bay. We always talk about supporting the local economy by supporting the Consumer Quarterback Show, the Platinum MVP team at Keller Williams Realty. And Dan is our expert contributor for inspections, also has a termite and pest control company. So what else are you seeing out there, Dan?
Well, here's one that just came out back in June. A recall on Square D panels, which it came out. Let me. I see the dates right here.
A recall of what panels?
A Square D panel. there's electrical panel, your panel box.
Oh,
from
panel
home.
box.
Yeah, June 16th of 22 this year, this past June, they recalled the Square D panel and 1.4 million of electrical panels due to the they'll catch fire from Square D. And I personally, well, my company and me, but it was me personally. I found a couple of them. So I found one, and one of our other guys found one. They're out there, 1.4 million. And Square D is known to be. If I could pick an electrical company that makes quality electrical panels, it'd be Square D. And there's a little problem with one of them. It can be remediated, or you replace the panel, of course. But those panels were out between 2019 and January of January of 22. They made them from let's say February of 2000 to January of 2002. 1.4 million of them in the United States.
Wow, those recalls, it's amazing how that happens. And you see, and I know there's one type of box too that if you find it, most of the time they're like, yep, you just might as well get rid of it because I forgot the name on it, but there's a certain type of electrical box that people do not like.
Well, they have the Federal Pacific.
Federal Pacific, that's another one. Federal Pacific.
Yeah, and you know what's funny about that one? You know that company? This is residential. I do industrial and commercial inspections as well.
Yep.
Commercial, they're still in business.
Wow.
They don't do any residential, but they do electrical panels. So you'll see big 3,000 amp, service panels in industrial places that they're still maintaining and still producing. And there's nothing wrong with them. It's just you're the ones that were, built in the 60s, 70s, and 80s that are now you got to get rid of them. But they're still in business. I figure, don't you change the name? You know what I mean?
Right.
In the residential world, Federal Pacific is junk.
Is it really?
So yeah, they're you see those colored tabs, and I could FPE, and it's a bad panel. But I see them all the time when we're doing large industrial type commercial inspections.
Right.
We see them all the time, and there's nothing wrong with them. It's just the smaller breakers tend to once they trip, they don't trip again, or they don't trip at all. Yeah.
Okay. Yep. So Dan Menikheim here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. Dan, what else do you think is topical when folks are going under contract on a home? Maybe they're selling a home, or even on the buy side. What are some of the most common things that you see happen in that home inspection process?
The roof. The roof seems to be the biggest nowadays.
Yep.
I mean, I'm glad you had Doug on the show. I know him personally. We do business together. The electrical panel is, electrical panel over 50 years old seems to be the day. Now we got a new one, but I've only seen them. Our company does, a few hundred inspections a month, and we've only came across two of these, but they're out there now, right? So if somebody replaced their panel, in the last couple of years, and it's a Square D panel, it's very easy to find. You open it up, you look at it's actually got it's got a sticker on it where it's got a data plate on it where it'll tell you where it's from, and we know to look. Our company knows where to look for it, but roofing is the biggest problem, in a real estate transaction. You're talking a minimum. What are roofs going for on a 15,000 square foot home? That's going to be well over $100,000, right, for a tile roof. But most of them are at least 15,000, right? I'd say.
Yeah, you can get shingle roofs for around that 15,000 price mark. Absolutely.
Yeah, but that's a big hit. I know houses are going, 300 and up, is the minimum price for a home, so.
Yeah, absolutely. And you got the plumbing is another thing to look out for. What do we look out for in plumbing? A lot of those old galvanized pipes.
Yeah, I had to replumb my own house. You never know. I mean, I lived in my house for 15 years before it burst, but yeah, the copper pipes are starting to go nowadays. So even roll copper, back in the 70s and 80s, basically probably late 80s or 90s, some polybutylene. Yeah, some piping has a problem too. Cast iron pipes for the waistline. Insurance companies do not like that. They're known to fail. So if you're buying an older home, you may want to get a sewer scope. That's where a plumber comes in and actually takes a camera and scopes the plumbing, your plumbing stack, and looks through the plumbing through the ground. So that's a good one too. The plumbing,
Yeah,
electrical.
that's a good idea. Especially
Yeah.
if you have a septic system too, you got to check that septic system out.
Yeah. Those are that popular, but there's still probably there's still I don't know.
Zephyr Hills.
There's probably a half. Yeah, Zephyr Hills. I mean, but there's still hundreds of thousands of homes in this area on septic.
Right. Yeah, absolutely. All right, Dan. Well, how do you want folks to connect with you? What's the website and social?
The website is secinspectionservices.com, secinspections.com, and social, look us up on Facebook, SEC Inspection Services.
All right, buddy. Thanks so much. Say hello to Melissa for me. Appreciate the work out there.
Yeah, great talking to you. Have a great day.
All right, you too. All right, taking a quick break. Coming back, we got Thomas Younk, Cons Helping Cons, one of our nonprofit organization partners. We allot a certain amount of time to help out local area nonprofit and charitable organizations in the community. National, we've had lots of different organizations. Cons Helping Cons, Children's Cancer Center, Warwick Dunn Charities back in the day, Habitat for Humanities recently, and for Humanity, and also the National US Institute Against Human Trafficking. But coming up, Thomas Younk on the Consumer Quarterback Show, consumerqb.com.
Hey, I'm Ken Shamrock, and you're here with Consumer Quarterback Show. And I say, Brandon Rhymes, knock out your competition.
To get in touch with Brandon, call 813-917-1894. Online at consumerqb.com.
Ian Beckles here with my man Brandon Rhymes, a.k.a. the real estate quarterback. Brandon, what's happening with the market?
Thanks, Ian. Any of our listeners out there, we'll offer you a 2% listing for the first 3 callers that reach out to the hotline, 813-917-1894. Call or text the hotline, 813-917-1894. Also, a great opportunity for folks out there looking for a part-time gig, maybe a side hustle, is Keller Williams Real Estate School, powered by Kaplan. Reach out if you'd like more information on how we have a free real estate school for you, online class, get licensed, and start referring business in, or maybe make a new career. 813-917-1894, consumerqb.com for our syndicated radio and TV show on 80 outlets worldwide, consumerqb.com, or our real estate website at platinummvpteam.kw.com. That's platinummvpteam.kw.com. And please follow us online at Brandon Rhymes 1 on Instagram, Twitter, Getter, and check out our YouTube channel, Brandon Rhymes Realty. Make it a great day. Hey, Brandon Rhymes here for Cleaning Commandos here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. Cleaning Commandos are hiring, and they're offering competitive wages, flexible hours, relaxed atmosphere, and a sign-on bonus. Reach out if you'd like a career with the Cleaning Commandos here in Tampa Bay. Info at cleaningcommandosllc.com or call 813-750-0550, 813-750-0550. Cleaning Commandos, Consumer Quarterback Show. Have you desired more income and more freedom in your life? Now is your time. Keller Williams Realty has just launched our own real estate school, and you can get licensed for free. I'm Brandon Rhymes, host of the Consumer Quarterback Show, owner of the Platinum MVP team at Keller Williams Realty. And for the first 3 people who reach out, I will personally coach you. 813-917-1894. Call or text 813-917-1894. ConsumerQB.com. ConsumerQB.com.
You're listening to The Consumer Quarterback, Brandon Rhymes. Online at consumerqb.com. Brandon is Tampa Bay's #1 consumer advocate for real estate and financial advice. Call Brandon today at 813-917-1894.
And we're back. Brandon Rhymes here, Consumer Quarterback Show, powered by the Platinum MVP team at Keller Williams Realty. We're part of the sports and entertainment division of Keller Williams Realty, working through our networks nationwide. We got 1,000 folks in that organization, or that network organization, through Keller Williams nationwide in sports and entertainment. So we're working with athletes, musicians, actors, owners of sports teams. Really cool addition to our Platinum MVP team at Keller Williams Realty. We got a property property at 1605 South Georgia Avenue in Tampa. This is a beautiful South Tampa home, close proximity. You can walk and jog over to Bayshore and enjoy that bike path up there. 1,500 square feet, 3 bedrooms, 2 bath, move-in ready, Hyde Park location as well as Palmacia, so it's kind of in between there, Hyde Park and Palmacia. Plant High School District, stainless steel appliances, granite countertops. Walk, bike, jog over to Bayshore and enjoy that South Howard Avenue Restaurant District at 1605 South Georgia Avenue in Tampa. And a great opportunity to own real estate. 852 51st Avenue South. This is another brand new listing that just hit the market in St. Petersburg. 852 51st Avenue South. This one is a renovated 3-bedroom, 2-bath home. New kitchen with stainless steel appliances. You got the beautiful subway tile, the white. Those light color cabinets are so in vogue right now. Beautiful property, split floor plan. Beautiful bathrooms with tile flooring, gorgeous backsplash in both the kitchen and the bathrooms. Minutes to the Gulf beaches, shopping, and the pier, and a huge backyard, nice size fenced-in backyard. 852 51st Avenue South, St. Petersburg. You can see all of our listings at platinummvpteam.kw.com.
Somewhere sunny and 75.
And this segment is brought to you by Replenish IV Solutions. If you want to feel hydrated, replenished, and energized, reach out to our friends at Replenish IV Solutions. Safe and effective way to restore your body's crucial systems with vitamins, nutrients, enabling your body to perform at optimal conditions. Reach out to Stephen and Lisa Gunnan. Let them know the real estate quarterback sent you. Talk to them online at replenishivsolutions.com. replenishivsolutions.com. All right, going to the phone lines, we got our friend Thomas Younk on the line. Cons helping cons. Thomas, how are you today, my friend?
Very well, sir. Thank you for having me.
Hey, my pleasure. Let's jump right into it. What are you seeing out there? You've got a great organization. You're helping folks with that recidivism process, helping reduce the recidivism rate through the prison systems.
Things are still going really well. I'm able to find anybody and everybody a job within 24 hours. We still have a little bit of an issue trying to find housing, because that's, first off, it's so expensive and there's very little movement right now. But we're working on that. We've got some plans on opening up a village up north of Spring Hill, probably here in the next year or so.
Nice.
That's something that actually Captain Will and I are working on together, along with our board of directors.
Nice. I love it. That's really cool. Very good stuff. Yeah. So you're helping folks kind of reduce that recidivism rate when they're coming out. Captain Will Smith wrote the book Ditches to Riches as well, and that's a part of the process.
Yes, it is. Actually, everybody that comes in through the program, they get a copy of that book, and he has a workbook that goes with it too. It's really great for making them do some self-interrogation and look at their thinking processes and how they make decisions about what they're going to do from here on out. Yeah,
exactly. And I think there's also reason to be a little bit critical of the prison system, even across the nation, and of course in Washington D.C. where they're locking up the January 6th protesters. But what are you seeing like locally as far as that goes?
Well, the problem that we have with the prison system is that they're no longer a correctional system. It's just strictly a penal system. Is that there is no vocational education going on. All the guys are doing now is just sitting. There's nothing, no way for them to improve themselves. There's some volunteers that come in and do some religious programs, but nobody's coming in and teaching technical skills or vocational skills. So actually, it's a wasted time unless that person just works on, for example, their spirituality or does some reading on their own to improve themselves. The prison system is not what it should be. It should be a corrective system, not a penal system.
Yeah, it seems like, that makes sense, is to get folks into something that they, it's a second shot at life in a sense. It's like a second shot. So, hey, are you interested in learning how to weld? Are you interested in learning how to, I thought when I had Sheriff Chad Chronister on our program, he mentioned they do have some, even over to like hair weaving and stuff like that for some of the ladies. But now
Sheriff Chronister's an unusual fella. He does that in his jail.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, once the person goes to prison, it's done. There's nothing in the prison. And, Pasco County Sheriff Naco, he's trying to get a few things underway there. Well, actually, he's turning the keys over from the jail now to the county, so I don't know what's going to happen there October 1st. But, the prison system, there's nothing.
We got to take a quick break. We're going to come back. Thomas Younk, Cons Helping Cons, here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. Download our podcast. Open your smartphone. Go to your podcast and search Consumer Quarterback Show. Spotify, iTunes. We'll be right back on the other side of this break. Don't go anywhere.
Thanks for listening to my daddy's show. Please make sure to send him all of your real estate deals and subscribe to the Consumer Quarterback Show podcast on iTunes and Spotify, or check out our YouTube channel. Have a blessed day.
To get in touch with Brandon, call 813-917-1894. Online at consumerqb.com. You're listening to the Consumer Quarterback, Brandon Rhymes, cutting through your typical media nonsense and offering you a rational and unbiased perspective on current events and life in Tampa Bay. Online at consumerqb.com.
All right, welcome back. Brandon Rhymes here, Consumer Quarterback Show, powered by the Platinum MVP team at Keller Realty. And we are a top 100 ranked real estate team here in Tampa Bay. We like to feature our real estate listings live on air. We help our sellers profit more and sell faster with one of the highest list price to sell price ratios in all of Tampa Bay. We've got a hot listing here in Tampa at 9512 Baytree. This is 9512 Baytree Court in Tampa, corner lot location. This is a beautiful home. You got tile throughout, ceramic tile, 3 bedrooms, 2 bath, turnkey, ready to go, move-in ready, town and country home. Open concept, features stainless steel appliances and ample storage. Tile throughout. You got a small patio porch in the back, lanai. And it's a great opportunity to own real estate here in beautiful Tampa Bay. Could maybe add it to your portfolio and turn it into a rental. 9512 Baytree Court in Tampa, one of our hot real estate listings right here in beautiful Tampa Bay. We also have a property at 2803 Safe Harbor Drive in Tampa. This is a $1 million listing, $975,000, just reduced down to $975,000. Corner lot. Beautiful property, spiral staircase up to the second floor. You have a private elevator, granite countertops, new appliances, pool, and heated spa. Great opportunity to own real estate here in Tampa Bay. 2803 Safe Harbor Drive in Tampa. One of our executive style homes available. The Estates at White Trout Lake. $1 million listing from the Platinum MVP team at Keller Realty. You can see all of our listings at platinummvpteam.kw.com.
Buy dirt. Find one you can't live without.
And yes, you can buy dirt. We got a lot of vacant land available as well. $4.5 million listing. That's 13.5 acres. You got $2.7 million listing in Hudson. That is 30 acres and some other smaller lots as well. So reach out. We'd love to talk to you. 813-917-1894. Call or text the hotline 813-917-1894. And we love it when you reach out and support the show. It makes my day when I get calls from listeners, audience that out there that says, hey, I want to support this company, or I want to support your financial advisor partner, your CPA, your attorneys associated with the show, all types of great home service providers here in Tampa Bay. And we got Thomas Younk on the line. He is a nonprofit organization, Cons Helping Cons, free to serve on Facebook. You can find him online. And what else? So we were kind of cut off by the break there, Thomas. Did you finish up on that topic, or do you want to talk a little bit more about that?
No, actually, that's just what it is. And the state recognizes that they don't have the funds to do vocational education, so nothing's going to change. And there has to be a total revamp of the justice system in our state anyway when it comes to helping people. Well, having said that, though, I have also had correctional officers telling me that they want the people to come back, of course, because it's job security for them. And, of course, to me, it's such an anti-humanistic approach to life. But, my approach is, let's get these guys out and these women out. Let's get them into a job. Let's teach them some skills, and let's have them lead a life that doesn't have the law in it.
Yeah, I wonder how the southern invasion is affecting the sheriff system, the prison systems, rather, with more and more people coming across the border, the constant flood of migrants coming across the border. It seems like, the prison system seems to be kind of maxed out.
Yes, it is. As a matter of fact, there's less inmates in the prison system now, the Florida State prison system, than there was 10, 12, 15 years ago, but it's still maxed out because so many of the prisons actually are uninhabitable now.
Wow. It's interesting. I want to play a quick clip here about the Southern invasion. This is from one of my podcasts I listened to, the War Room.
Because of the created crisis at the border from Joe Biden, NPR polling, not a right-wing organization by any stretch. NPR polling shows us that for the very first time ever in the history of their polling, a majority believe that there is a, quote, invasion at the southern border. 54% of Americans believe there is an invasion. To also show you the trend of people coming our way, and this is why it pays to stake out the right policies, even when they're not popular at the time. Over time, we persuade people, and Joe Biden has helped inadvertently persuade people through this crisis at the southern border. 4 years ago, that same NPR poll, when they asked about a border wall, 45% of Americans were strongly opposed to a border wall. That number has gone all the way down to 27% today. I believe it will soon go into the teens. But the point is, the American people, the good, common sense citizens of this country, see the chaos of the border, realize that every town in America is a border town, and are increasingly coming our way to a place demanding border security and the sovereignty of the United States for our national security, for street safety, and for our economic well-being.
Yeah, so Thomas, you're seeing, 54% now of Americans say that is actually an invasion happening at our southern border. Crime is up. Rainbow color fentanyl. The kids are falling for this rainbow colored fentanyl. That's drugs. It's killing people at record numbers. The human trafficking is off the charts, and a lot of it's sexual trafficking for underage minors. So it's just a tragedy at the southern border right now.
It is. We need to have strong leadership again back at the White House and close that up.
Yeah.
I mean, hello.
Absolutely. But you ask them, they say it's closed. The Mallorca says it's closed. The border's not open.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I don't argue with stupid people. So.
Yeah, exactly. All right, so let's finish on a positive note here, Thomas. Cons Helping Cons, you've been a nonprofit organization for quite a while. Give us the statistics on the turnaround, how many lives you've helped, and then also maybe a recent success story. Take us inside one of your success stories recently.
I've got that. We started March 27th of 2013, so we've been in existence now over 9 years, almost 9.5 years. And in that time, we've helped about 1,800 people, men and women coming out of prison and the jails. We've only had 5 return to prison, so our recidivism rate is almost nothing. And actually, a recent success story, we had a guy come out, 8 days ago now, and he had nowhere to live, and he had nothing, no plans. So I met him, got him a place to live, a friend took him in, got him a job the next day, and in those 6 days he's been working, he has already saved up all of his money, because we were able also to get him food stamps quickly. So he's saving up his money, he's got a great attitude, and he will be independent here, I imagine, in the next 60 days.
Wow. That is awesome, man. Let's keep up the good work out there, man. You're doing God's work, brother. That's great stuff. And
thank you, sir.
Yeah, we appreciate you doing that, and thanks for the update.
Of course.
And they can
find you everybody.
Find you online. Cons Helping Cons, free to serve on Facebook, right?
Yes, sir.
All right, good stuff. Thomas Younk, thanks so much. Talk to you soon.
Thank you.
All right, my pleasure. All right, coming up, massive marketing pros, Will Hyder in studio. We're going to talk about marketing, talk about real estate, and plus our feel-good story of the day, a Good Samaritan stabbed and bitten after tackling alleged purse thief in Massachusetts. We'll be right back. Consumer Quarterback Show, consumerqb.com.
Hey, I'm Ken Shamrock, and you're here with Consumer Quarterback Show. And I say, Brandon Rhymes, knock out your competition.
To get in touch with Brandon, call 813-917-1894. Online at consumerqb.com.
Hey, Brandon Rhymes here, Consumer Quarterback Show, in studio with Martine Gramatica, Gramatica, that is, former Tampa Bay Buccaneers Super Bowl winner. Lifeguard Imaging, lifeguardimaging.com, saving lives through early detection.
Thanks for having me, Brandon. Yes, that's what we're doing at Lifeguard Imaging. You come in asymptomatic, and that's what we do. You're being proactive. You're coming in. We do a scan from the neck to the pelvis. It's a full body scan. It's a 3D image of every organ, and that's where 90% of the deadliest cancers are, in our mid region. So we can see everything. But for your listeners, we have a real good special. We have a $599 value, absolutely complimentary. They can come in for a coronary artery scan, which will give you their calcium score, awesome. 100% complimentary for your people.
Very cool. Hey, take them up on that offer, 813-917-1894. Call or text, complimentary scan, 813-917-1894, and check them out online, lifeguardimaging.com.
Dennis Prager here for Brandon and Lindsay Rhymes, owners of the Platinum MVP team at Keller Williams. Buying, selling, investing in real estate, their nationwide Keller Williams network makes them the best team to work with. Sellers, have your property featured live on air, creating multiple offers. Buyers, leverage a unique system that gets your offer accepted, never overlooked. Call or text 813-750-0550, 813-750-0550, or consumerqb.com.
You're listening to The Consumer Quarterback, Brandon Rhymes. Online at consumerqb.com. Brandon is Tampa Bay's #1 consumer advocate for real estate and financial advice. Call Brandon today at 813-917-1894.
All right, welcome back. Thanks for sticking with us. Brandon Rhymes here, Consumer Quarterback Show, powered by the Platinum MVP team at Keller Williams Realty, helping you win in any marketplace. We got some hot listings here in Tampa Bay. We always like to feature our real estate listings live on air. We help our sellers profit more and sell faster by featuring the properties that we list. We do all the traditional and basic marketing, plus a tremendous amount of extra marketing on our real estate listings. We've got a co-listing here at 530 Heaton Forest Road. This is in North Carolina. Compliments of the Bill DeVore Real Estate Group with Keller Williams Realty in North Carolina. 530 Heaton Forest Road. This is a $9 million listing. 8,000 square feet, 20-acre property, magnificent country estate in the mountains of western North Carolina. Beautiful home, features a breakfast porch, patio, 4 fireplaces for those cool mountain evenings, attached 2-car garage and 2-car carport, expansive stone driveway, and guest house that has 3 bedrooms and a sitting room. Also equestrian area for your horses and your wildlife. So you can see all of our listings at platinummvpteam.kw.com.
Sun is shining, the weather is sweet. Tell me something good.
All right, it's got a 21-year-old Massachusetts man recovering after being stabbed and bitten by an alleged purse thief. The incident happened on Monday afternoon in Malden, a suburb of Boston. The Good Samaritan and Instacart driver, Ryan DeSantos, said he has no regrets about tackling and restraining the suspect. Dos Santos was just about to unload a delivery when he heard a woman screaming for help. Quote, he started running. I went after him, Dos Santos said. I saw the opportunity, tackled him, went to the ground, then he stabbed my leg, my quad, bit me 3 times on the arm. The snatched purse was returned to the victim in her 30s. She had been walking from a nearby subway station. And he says, quote, I don't think it's that much of a big deal. I did what every good citizen would do, Dos Santos said. He was released from Boston Hospital Monday night following treatment for his injuries. Well, number one, I think more and more people would not do that now because, they're so worried about some of these district attorneys not pressing charges or pressing charges on the person. You've seen that, like the person breaks in and then, you shouldn't have shot him or you shouldn't have defended yourself. You should have, used pepper spray or something maybe. But yeah, so that's, the Good Samaritan. The other thing is you take somebody to the ground, they pull out a knife and they stab you. Hey, you gotta control those hands too. So, hey, feel good story of the day. Welcome in Will Hyder, Massive Marketing Pros. Welcome, sir.
Thank you, sir, for having me. How you doing today?
Excellent, man. Blessed and highly favored. And awesome. Yeah, so you talk about marketing. We do a lot of marketing, with our real estate listings, and the marketing has changed too. The market has shifted. It's not as quite a crazy seller's market as we had 6-8 months ago. Still in the seller market side as far as inventory goes, months of inventory. What are you seeing out there?
Yeah, so we specialize in real estate marketing. We're also a licensed realtor. And one thing that we want to talk about is, the market is slowing down a little bit because the interest rates are going up a little bit, but the demand's still there. But one thing that we want to stress a lot with business owners and realtors out there is how do you become more memorable in your business and not transactional? Mm-hmm. More often than not, we see a ton of businesses out here. All they're ever trying to do is just spew their information on people, just trying to sell people, just trying to get the deal, right? Commission breath. You talk a lot about that on your show, right? And with our clients and with ourselves, and we stress this a lot with business owners, is how can you set yourself apart? What is your differentiator in the marketplace, and how can you provide value, right? Right. So first, identify how you provide value and how you go about doing that. Yeah. So the same thing you do with your show, and that's why we align so well. Is because you go out and you provide value to the marketplace in a way in which through this show, through providing consumer advocate topics and different tips and tricks in the marketplace, right? Right. This is your way of providing value. So I can't stress that enough with other business owners to dig deep, sit down with your team, identify what your value add is to the marketplace, and how can you go out and get in front of your audience.
Yeah, your USP. What's your unique selling proposition? What makes you different? What sets you apart? Because everybody's going to say, well, I always answer my phone, or we have great service. Okay, well, so do 90% of the other agents out there, right?
Yeah. And with the digital age today, you can reach your audience in more ways than ever for a fraction of the cost. Right? It's all about just doing the work.
Yeah.
We teach a lot about this in other groups that we're in, talking about building your machine, right? Building your machine organically with content, right? You see a lot of big influencers, all the YouTubers are crushing it, right? It's because they're content creators.
Yeah.
You're either going to be, going forward, you're either going to be a consumer in this industry or you're going to be a creator, right?
Yeah.
Decide which one you want to be, because the creators are what's getting the views, what's getting the audience, it's what's getting, the influence. We go back to being the authority by placing those type of videos out there, whether it be in Facebook groups, on Instagram, TikTok, Instagram Reels, Facebook Reels. This will allow you to become the authority in your marketplace, and people will begin to know, like, and trust you and want to do business with you. This is how you get in front of more people in today's digital age.
You're seeing a lot more about these Reels nowadays. What's the inside scoop there?
So Instagram Reels, Facebook Reels, TikTok, short clip videos are super highly engaging. They're getting tons of engagement and views. So I recommend sit down with your media team, shoot out like 15-second clips, 59-second clips, shorter clips that lead to more informational things, right?
Yeah, give good information about different topics.
Yes.
In real estate, a lot of it's like, well, when you're buying and selling at the same time, what if I go under contract on my home and then I have nowhere to go? Okay, well, you got post-occupancy agreements. You've got different things that you can do, maybe a short-term rental, solve problems for people.
Right, go out and seek problems and become the solution for it. And that's what I tell my clients to put in their videos, right? Attack the pain point, attack whatever problem that you're trying to solve for the clients.
Right.
Give them a little teaser about what the solution is and have them opt in to receive more information about that.
Yeah.
You can help them, but if you can't get your message out there, get out of obscurity, no one's going to be able to find you.
Right.
That's why I say be more memorable and less transactional.
Yep.
Stop just trying to go out there and sell people. Go out and try to help people.
Yep.
When you have that helping mentality, it's a law of reciprocity. It comes back to you, and you get a lot farther along when you try to help people and solve problems.
Absolutely. All right, we're talking to Will Hyder here. He's a real estate agent with the Platinum MVP team, also owns a company called Massive Marketing Pros. He works with agents all across the country, helping them maximize their lead reach, looking for like running a lot of Facebook ads. That's a question we get a lot too, Will, is, hey, are you going to take my listing and market it to the Northeast or the Midwest? Are you going to market to New York, New Jersey? So we know people are fleeing those states.
Yes.
So talk a little bit about, how you can do that with Facebook and different ads.
Yeah, so not just with Facebook, but all social media platforms, even Google, YouTube, right? We see that a lot. That was somebody just asked me that this morning, right? Well, how do we get the people from the Northeast? Well, we can actually, there is targeting things that you can do on those platforms to put your ads and your content in front of your ideal audience, whether it's people from the Northeast, whether it's whatever business it is, right? The idea is to create the content around that, figure out how to put it in front of the right targeted audience, whether it be through hashtags or targeted terms or, SEO or just overall using organic by putting out so much content and video that people will begin to reach out to you because they see you as the authority. Right. That is the long game, right?
Yeah.
And there's no easy route to this. Like a lot of companies, they just want to pay a company and expect them to do it all. Like there is a degree that the business owner must do in order for that brand to grow. Right. So
you own the brand. If it's your business, you got to be the person making it happen.
Yep.
Another question, Metaverse. Talk to me a little bit about Metaverse, because I know we've had some conversations off air about that. Are people really making money in there? Do you think it has longevity? Does it really have legs? Who's backing it? I think a lot of it is from like banks, large corporate banks that are getting a lot of the ESG money that's flowing from the government.
I'm not an expert on the Metaverse. I know a little bit about it. The Metaverse is the new social media
marketplace.
Essentially, yeah, it's all VR based, right? A lot of you put your VR goggles in there. People in there transacting. You can buy digital real estate. I've got a mentor that literally owns digital real estate in the Metaverse, and they have people paying the rent to rent the property. And what they do is they advertise on that. You can do games in the Metaverse, and then people like kids, they go on there and whatever users, it could be kids, adults, whatever, they go on there and spend coins, and then people monetize the land.
Wow.
We've got banks that will lend against the metaverse real estate.
Wow.
So not only are you making rental income from the property, but you're also getting essentially a loan off of the
collateralized loan.
Yeah, it's insanity.
So you got collateralized loan. Yeah.
Yeah, but there's a lot of risk in crypto. Obviously, you can see crypto now; it's tanked, right? But it'll come back. But I'm not a crypto expert by no means, but there's definitely opportunity there, I believe. You just got to educate yourself,
right,
and get around the right people.
Yeah, exactly. So, let's see what else. So marketing is such a key, piece to it. No longer is it just about, professional photography, a drone video. It's really about where you hang that carrot. If you put that carrot out in front of the right groups, if you are marketing with the right agents, and so it's peer-to-peer marketing also in a sense. It's consumer to consumer marketing, and then also some B2B in cases.
And I think the number one thing that we're not mentioning is follow-up, right?
Yeah.
How do you be more memorable with your existing client base and new client base? Well, you follow up with them, you contact them, you reach out to them different, whether it be on social media or through face-to-face or through a phone call or through a piece of mail. Whatever you want to do, be unique on the approach, but be memorable so they remember you. So when it's time for them to transact, they remember who's been, top of mind.
Right.
So stay consistent on the follow-up. That's why we, invest in CRMs, invest in systems to help you remember those things.
Yeah.
Right?
I love that. I love when I get the call from like a year ago. She's like, I had one this last week. She's like, hey, I know I should have went with you in the first place, but my neighbor had recommended this person or the kid's soccer coach or one of those things. And then, she calls me like 6 months or a year later and of course got the listing now. We're on the market. And so I love those. So
and remember people.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, because if you call that lady back 6 months, you're like, yeah, I remember you told me about blah, 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 about, oh, wow, you remember that about me?
Yeah.
Like, oh my gosh,
And the radio show, the TV show, that's a big part of our, USP, that unique selling proposition. That's a big part of it.
Yep.
And the longevity. And you look at a lot of these, these influencers, Grant Cardone and Gary Vaynerchuk and some of these guys. Similar thing, man. Everybody's got a course too these days, don't they?
Yeah, everybody's got a course. But, whether it be a course or just surround yourself with mentorship, surround yourself with people that want to see you win, whether it's in business and in life.
Right.
That will also help you build that mindset to continue to strive in business, whether it be, it has ups and downs. A lot of people talk about recession coming. I can promise you, if you guys focus on building your machine, get your content out there, get out in front of your audience and be consistent, you won't go hungry. You've got to start building that machine. Don't expect your clients to invest in you if you don't invest in them. Right?
Yeah.
So constantly be investing in your people.
Yeah, that we are in a vulnerable economy. I got a clip I'm going to play here in a minute, but on that point, it's the more that you can develop your database. One of the biggest things Keller Williams talks about is getting your hands around your database, hugging your database, keeping in contact with your database, inviting them to, happy hours or ice cream socials, those types of things, constantly staying in contact with your database through different means, not only voice, but text, email, social, etc. But that's a good way to keep business.
In this real estate business right now,
in
it's
a
more
shifting market.
It's more relationship business now than more than ever.
Yep.
Listen, everybody was crushing it, during COVID, right? When everybody's buying houses left and right. Well, now it's time where interest rates gone up, things are changing. Let's see who rises to the cream of the crop here, right?
I'm excited about that because once we do and we come out of this thing 6 months later, a year later, whatever it is, we're gonna have that much more market share because the other folks have gone back to being a bartender, car salesman, whatever they were doing prior, personal trainer. I want to play a quick clip here on the synchronicity and the economic woes because you touched on it a little bit. Europe, U.S., and China, our economies are now more interlinked now more than ever.
We are incredibly exposed to the massive slowdown to the recession that is looming in China. And so when you have that synchronicity that you talk about, the three major economic centers of the world, Europe, the United States, and China, all at once crashing into the ditch, the risks increase dramatically. And again, I want to be clear on this. We don't really know what the consequences will be because it has never happened before. So anybody who tells you they know precisely, I think, is being disingenuous. But I think what we can reasonably discern is that it's going to be really, really economically dangerous. And
so you got to be real careful. I mean, you look at the sanctions going on, the war in Ukraine, the different things happening with China. China's got a bust happening too. They've got their own 2008 meltdown happening. So how will that affect the international economy? It's going to be interesting to see how that plays out. Back to you, Will. Final thoughts, about 10, 15 seconds.
Yeah, it's all about being memorable, not transactional. Go out, provide value to the marketplace. Find ways in which you can solve problems and become a solution.
That's right.
Right?
Website?
MassiveMarketingPros.com. We're here to help businesses grow in any way possible. It's been a pleasure. Thank you so much for having me, Brandon.
My pleasure, man. All right. Hey, another great show. I want to thank our expert contributors, Dan Menikheim, Thomas Younk, and Will Hyder. And we want you to please go out there and consider committing a random act of kindness. Do something kind for one another. Be a force for good in the community. And we'll see you next time right here on the Consumer Quarterback Show, consumerqb.com.
You've been listening to The Consumer Quarterback, Brandon Rhymes. Whether it's real estate, consumer, or financial advice, let Brandon call your next play. Call Brandon Rhymes at 813-917-1894. That's 813-917-1894. Online at consumerqb.com. And join us next time for the Consumer Quarterback Show.